Let's get this bad boy recorded. Welcome to our Breakfast Club call. This is our leadership and mentorship call that we do every Thursday morning. Today, it is a special time because I had a business leaders meeting with my church this morning. So thank you all for your patience and pivoting with me. Yes, thriving Thursday to you, Lisa. Blessings on blessings. I remember when I first embarked upon entrepreneurship 10 years ago, believe it or not, I was looking forward to these morning calls. I was not only looking forward to these morning calls for the information I was going to receive, but I was looking forward to these morning calls for the inspiration I was going to receive. Garbage in is garbage out. Greatness in is greatness out. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that wanted to start off your morning with some inspiration, with some motivation, with some fire, right? I have been doing these calls. We started them in person over 6 years ago. I want to say it was in 2016. We started them in person. And then after the pandemic, during the pandemic, we transitioned to online. So blessings on blessings to each and every single one of you guys that always join us every Thursday. I appreciate this beautiful community. And yeah, I'm always just here to serve. So last week, if you were on last week, we spoke about changing your mindset, changing your leadership, and you change your life. We spoke about how to go from a concerned mindset to confident. We spoke about how to go from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance. We spoke about how to go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, and if you missed that, make sure you are on our Chosen Global YouTube page because you can go ahead and actually look at all of the recordings from our Breakfast Club calls on there, right? So in case you missed it, share it with somebody if you were on, because I promise it's going to bless someone. So what I wanted to talk about today was how do you immediately take action in the time of adversity? I think that if we analyze, right, can we type a 1 in the chat if you can say something happened this month or something probably happened yesterday, maybe something happened today, right, that did not allow your month to go as planned, or it just wasn't going as planned. Maybe did anybody get like a monkey wrench thrown in your plans, right? So can you type a 1 in the chat if this is something that you can relate to? Because one of the things is that when something's happened, yes, thank you for your transparency. A lot of you guys are sending it to all panelists. It's okay, right? But listen, life happens. Life happens to all of us. And it's interesting because we were just at this conference and, one of the things that they were talking about, this guy, Pete Oakes. And if you have not, I definitely recommend. I just bought this book, A High Impact Life, Love Your Purpose, Live with Passion, and Leverage Your Platform. And he was basically saying, like, in the center, when you are going from chasing success to significance to surrender, and it's just, serving God, honoring God in the middle of it, and serving people. And when you are pursuing excellence, competence is important and expertise is important. Innovation is important, but one of those things that is important is discipline. And a lot of times people are like, well, Pam, I don't feel like doing something. Like, am I the only one that ever felt like you ain't feel like doing it? Like you ain't want to make that call today. You didn't want to reach out. Type of 1 if you can relate. Like, you know what you gotta do. Because we know lifeblood, like new blood is the lifeblood of not only this business, it's the life of life, right? It's the blood of life. And I understand that a lot of times things happen, and it has been in those moments of adversity when you got to make decisions, and the power of decision making in the time of adversity. It's like when all of the odds are against you. It's, I one of our great friends and mentors, leaders of leaders, Mr. Josh Valentine, is like, never let a good suffering go to waste, right? Never let a good suffering go to waste. And one of those things is making sure that, I don't know what just happened here, making sure that that no matter what it is happening, you have to keep the end in mind. You have to keep the end in mind. Decide means to kill off all other options. When you make a decision in anything in life, see, there's going to be some type of resistance. There's going to be, thank you, Shantae, for your honesty, right? She said, I was just in low energy. And listen, it's something that it happens to all of us. But one of the things that is important to immediately take action during the time of adversity. And the reason why I wanted to have this conversation with you guys, because am I the only one that looked at my back office numbers and was like, nah, this month cannot end like this? Like, anybody else look at your back office and you're like, this, I can't have my, not only my square bonus end like this, but you see a lot of your teammates, right? And shout out to Michelle Taylor. Black Mamba did an amazing job on Tuesday on our Team Synergy Agents call, talking about how to end the month strong. And I loved everything that she said. But here's one of the things that I struggle with, right? It's the time. Everything is great when everything is great. Can we agree? Like, how many people were fired up at the event? How many people left the event and last week business was booming? You were doing everything. You were showing, you were growing. And then it's like life happens to us. And here's what I will tell you. When life happens, you got to happen right back. You got to fight right back, because life, what I've learned is, it is truly a fight for territory. And when you stop fighting for what it is that you want, when you stop fighting for what it is that you know you deserve, for your dreams, is like that one, right? Something else won. And it's like, when you stop fighting for what you want, what you don't want will automatically happen, because it's by default. So one of the best ways, and yes, we hear decide means to kill off all other options. And one of those things is assessing the situation. A lot of times, and I speak for myself, right? Because anything that I'm talking about with y'all is because I've lived through it. A lot of times, does anybody else get into the habit bigger than what they are? Can we be, I can't be the only one, right? So one of the things that it's important is us assessing the situation. And I'm not talking about take time to assess the situation. Can you guys all hear me okay? Take time to assess the situation. Number one is assess the situation. When we decide, you kill off all other options. Can you guys still hear me? Type a 1 if you could still hear me, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, all right. You kill off all other options. And I will tell you that it's knowing that no matter what is happening to you, what is happening in that moment, it's quickly saying, you know what, let me assess this situation. Let me see how I can not only take immediate action during the time of adversity, but I will tell you that how you respond versus how you react to managing and overcoming challenges, it's not only going to be how you respond and in that moment, but it's going to become a part of your lifestyle. Because a lot of times we think that, oh, well, I got to be disciplined, and these things are great, because yes, we do have to be disciplined. But when you don't feel disciplined and you still do things, you know why? It's because it's a part of your lifestyle. Type a L in the chat if you've made living your life a part of your lifestyle. If you've made fitness a part of your lifestyle. If you've made your mental health a part of your lifestyle. If you've made building your business a part of your lifestyle. If you've made serving and honoring God a part of your lifestyle. If you've made serving people a part of your lifestyle. If you got kids, have you made making their, like, if you don't feed your kids, like, who's going to feed them? You've made that a part of your lifestyle. So even when you don't feel disciplined to do it, shout out to all the moms and dads in here, right? And even if you got fur babies, like, you made it a part of your lifestyle. So it's so important that we assess the situation and we quickly evaluate the nature of it and really the severity of the adversity that it is that we're facing, and understand what exactly is happening and the potential impact it may have on you or our surroundings. So that is super important, because a lot of times we make things bigger than what they are by overthinking it. So immediately stop and just say, let me assess this situation and what it is that I have to do. Number 2 is staying calm and composed. Man, y'all see this energy? Like, imagine in person, like, this is me. And I've learned, I have learned in my 30 plus years of living that it is so important to be cool, calm, and collected, because the more calm and composed you are, you will be able to maintain a clear and focused mindset. And when you do your best to stay calm and composed, in opposed to panic, your judgment is no longer clouded. Because once our judgment is clouded, is like the panic freezes you because it hinders effective decision making. Like, you ever heard when emotions are high, intelligence is low? Yeah, that part, because it's very real. So staying calm. Here's another way. Number 3 is identifying the priorities. So what are your priorities for today? I know that you want to hit 1,000 squared. I know you want to hit 2,000 squared. I know we want to hit all of these big ranks, all of these big, but what is the priority for today? Identify what those priorities are for today. I call it my power list for the day. Like, I have non-negotiables. What are things that must be done today? What is that for you? What does that look like? What I do when I identify my priorities, I not only identify my priorities in my business, because my business has to do with my fortune, but I compartmentalize every aspect of my life. So non-negotiables is my faith. Like, I have to get up in the morning and read my Bible. I have to pray. I have to meditate. I have to journal. I have to say my affirmations. If I don't do that, you guys will know my day, it won't be, I won't be who I know that I'm supposed to be. I will not be in alignment because I didn't start my day like that. See, these save as anchors and they become a part of your lifestyle. And they, therefore, when you can conquer yourself, you can conquer anything else. It's another reason why I pay a personal trainer, because it holds me accountable. Even if I don't show up, that charge still shows up in my account and I like my coins, right? So these are just little things that you identify your priorities, because here's what I've learned. When you identify priorities and you execute on them, they become your priorities in every you it identifying priorities and productivity, it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a part of who you are. So when you identify these priorities, you're determining the most critical task. You're determining your most critical objectives that need immediate attention. Prioritize them based on the sense of urgency and importance addressing the adversity. So I'm going to tell you some of my priorities for today when it comes to my secret business. I have a few teammates that I'm reaching out to. I'm already sending out the messages. I'm sending voice notes. I said, okay, how can, what's, you're here. Your square level is, let's say I got some people right now that are like 8 and 7. I said, hey, congratulations. Right? I always utilize the sandwich effect. So I just say something positive. I say something how we can build, and then I say something, I end it on a positive note, because it's important that people know that not how much I care, but how much I care about them. This is always for me serving people. So I'm like, hey, congratulations, you passed 5-5, you're 8-7. You're right there next to 10-10. Now, how can we get you there? What can I do to serve you? Here's something that I believe that you can implement today. Can you reach out to 10 people? Can we follow up with a few of your people that we've showed in the last month, in the last week, in the last 2 weeks? Who can we get locked in today? They don't got to come in for the business, but can we get them on a Club Secret membership? Essentially, do we want them on Club Secret Plus? Of course, right? Because that gives us 1 point towards our bonus. But hey, let's get them on Club Secret. Why? Because a half and a half makes a whole, right? So if I can get half points, guess what? It's like success loves speed. So how can you speed things up? So identify what those priorities look like for you and be able to move forward. Here's another thing. What's your plan of action? And when you determine that priorities, when you've identified what the priorities, you create a plan outlining specific steps, kind of like I just told you, to take address to the situation. And then what's even better is you break down the plan into small, manageable tasks to make it even more achievable. I like to call them micro goals. Like, the macro goals are the big ones, right? Are the big goals. Like I said, I know I got to get to 2,000 squared, but what can I do today that's going to make a difference in the next 2 to 3 weeks to get me closer to there? It's being intentional on following up. It's being intentional on following through. It's being intentional on reaching out to people. It's being intentional about building our business. It's being intentional. So prioritize and then make that plan of action to make it more achievable for you. Don't try to eat the elephant in one day. Take it a bite at a time. So here's another thing. Take decisive action. Once we make a plan, we have to act swiftly and decisively on our plan. Don't hesitate to implement necessary measures to make tough decisions, because those tough decisions make us tougher. But in the reality is they ensure and we ensure that they're well considered based on the information that we have. So if you know your plan of action is X, well, if it's dependent on why, make sure that your plan of action is some manageable steps, are things that you can do on your own. Do not make them dependent on anybody else. So for example, so if I have a conversation and I do my best to say, hey, how can we achieve this in your business? But it's not in alignment with the speed they want to move in, guess what? On to the next. I know that I still have a follow-up list. I know that part of my plan is to help my team, but I also know that the speed of the team is the speed of the leader. And I also know that new blood is the lifeblood. So I'm always in phase one. I'm always showing. I'm always exposing people to the opportunity. I'm always building, because I know that not everybody is a builder. Some people I'm going to build with. Some people I'm going to build for, and some people I'm going to build through. So take decisive action after you make that plan. Here's another thing: seeking support if needed. My upline is the best. I do have the filet mignon of uplines, and I say that I give him so much tough love a lot of times, and it's equal, right? If you know, you know. Josh and Kia Valentine are amazing. If you were at a last event, they got recognized for 100 squared. And the reality is that I wouldn't be who I am and where I'm at without them, right? I reach out all the time. Shout out to JAON, right? I reach out all the time. Matt Morris, I reach out all the time. Muzaffar, Jesse. Like the other day, I had a question and I sent 10 text messages and I didn't know who was going to respond, but I sent it to 5 of my uplines. And I even sent a message to Jeff Balf. I even sent a message to Raymond and Janie Braun. Why? Because I've built relationships with these people and I know that I can't do it all. I know that they've gotten to heights and levels that I haven't. So when in doubt, reach out. Whenever you're going through anything, seek the support. Do not hesitate to reach out for support and advice from others. Like I am humble. I am humble enough to know that I don't have it all figured out. I'm humble enough to know that they do in certain things that I don't. They have strengths that are my weaknesses and vice versa. So it's complementing each other, but it's also seeking out that support is everything. And this is not, sometimes it can be you even seeking out support from your friends. It can be you seeking out support from your family. It can be different things, but it's important. It's important. And it is so beautiful that we have that in our community. Everybody wants to see each other win. So it doesn't matter what team you're in. The majority of you on this call, I do not benefit from financially, but there is nothing that I will not do to help you succeed. So seeking support. Here's another thing that it's so important for us when we're making decisions to take action in times of adversity: adapt, adaptability, adapt and adjust, pivot as you need to, pivot over again and over again, right? I love the fact of the mindset of having is like our ability to adapt in business, our ability to adapt in life will mean survival at sometimes. Your ability to adapt and pivot when we need to, it will mean that you will thrive in times that other people will not. You know why? Because you have certainty, and certainty, the leaders bring certainty to an environment that there isn't any. And one of the ways that we do that is because we adapt and adjust as quickly as we need to. And be prepared to adapt and approach your situation as it evolves, because sometimes you might pivot and you might adapt to something, but here's the caveat to that: you got to stay flexible and open-minded to continue to adapt and be willing to make the changes in your plan if new information comes about, or if initial strategies that you're utilizing, they prove ineffective. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, one of my favorite books. It took my mindset, it took my activity, it took everything, what my definition of success, to another level, right? Because it was like 10X. is like, you want to 10x something. If you do something 10 times and it's not working, you better reach up. You better pivot. You better adapt. You better adjust in one way, shape, or form, because that is going to mean your survival. That is going to mean how you thrive. But more than anything, that's going to mean how you serve and impact people's lives, because that's the greater mission. Here's another one: maintaining resilience. Maintaining resilience. Listen, adversity often requires resilience and perseverance. Staying determined and resilient in the face of challenges allow us to maintain a positive outlook that can overcome the adversity you're facing. And this is what it goes back to me. What things are you challenging yourself with so that you can overcome? Now, I'm going to tell you another challenge for me. It's been a challenge because I listen to so many audiobooks to actually read 20 pages. And one of the things that and now just again, we keep it hot over here, honest, open, and transparent. One of the things that I've been reading is like more and more people are getting dementia, and more people are suffering from this horrible disease. And it's because they're not utilizing their brains a lot. And again, every case is different, but I said, I can't do that. I said, God, like, help me continuously use my brain. And I know the audios are good and I'm using my brain every day, but this is why I'm in mastermind. This is why I come to at 7 a.m. to a business leaders conference to hear somebody, not because of they're a multimillionaire, but because they know something I don't, because I want to be surrounded around people that are constantly improving, people that are constantly growing, people that are constantly evolving, people that are committed to not only getting to their next level in business, but people that are committed to getting to their next level in life. So this is why I'm like, okay, and I've set little things in place. Make sure, did you read 10 pages? I got little alarms. Did you read 10 pages? Right? Halfway through my day, I'm like, did you read 10 pages? You got 10 more to go. Cool. Right? But holding myself accountable, always stretching myself. This is also why the gym works, because when you could overcome yourself, you could overcome everything else. I thought I had two 35-pound dumbbells. I thought I was going to die. I'm just being real. I thought I was going to die. I picked it up and I told my trainer, I was like, do you realize these are 35s? He's like, yeah, I realized that. Let's go. I was like, okay, fine. Right? I'm pushing a sled with four yellow plates of 35 pounds each. And mind you, the sled is already heavy. And I'm like, are you expecting me to really do that? He's like, yes, I do. But again, I pay him to hold me accountable. I pay him to stretch me. Who's holding you accountable? It's not easy. And sometimes I feel like he's attacking me, but accountability only feels like attack when you're not ready to be held accountable. So it's about you knowing that maintaining resilience is important. Being prepared. Adversity is going to require you to be resilient. And I just want you to think about this. Maybe right now you find yourself in a season that you are being resilient and you are just at a point that you're like, I don't know if I could hold on. I want you to think back to whatever point of reference you can in your life where you have had to be resilient, where you have had to be determined, and where God came through and give you supernatural strength that you don't even know how you overcame it. And I just want you to know that if he did it one time, he can do it again. And if you did it one time, you could do it again, because you have that resilience built in you. You have that power built in you. So maintaining resilience. Number 9, learning and growing. Take the opportunity you can to learn from the adversity you're experiencing. Reflect on what went well and what could be improved for future situations. Utilizing this experience to grow stronger and be more prepared for future challenges. And it's not saying that you are, hoping doom and gloom. No. But in a world where the majority is doom and gloom, you shed love and light. You are able to, as a community builder, bring people opportunity. Everybody wants to build community, but for community, you need currency, and you can't have currency without opportunity. So learning what you have your hands on is important, but also learning from what it is that you're going through. I always say, grow through what you go through. Do not let a good suffering go to waste. And the more that you realize that success is a game of inches, it's what's going on in here, and it's what's going on between the inches from your heart to your headspace. Because if you knew that you could do anything and not fail, what wouldn't you do? If you knew that the next person you called is going to be like, I am so grateful I am so grateful. I'm ready to get started. I'm actually going to get in with a Club Secret Plus. It's absolutely, I'm going to do that right now, right? So they're ready. If you knew that that next person you made a phone call to, or you sent a voice note to, or you reached out was going to be the next Josh Valentin, the next JAON, the next Ben Bradshaw, the next Jesse Mack on your team, who wouldn't you reach out to? Who wouldn't you reach out to? How wouldn't you persist and persevere? You absolutely would. So it's having that mindset that is setting us up for success, that is setting us up to take action in the time of adversity, in the time of challenges. Lastly, I'm going to leave you with this. One of the greatest ways that we can take immediate action in the time of adversity and make those decisions is by taking care of ourselves. Remember, take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally during times of adversity. Ensure you're getting enough rest. Guys, your girl was in bed yesterday before 10 p.m. That is astounding for me. I know somebody else looking at that is like, what? You were? Yes. Okay. I am prioritizing my rest because that is the one area that has been a challenge for me. I take care of myself and everything. Y'all see every time I invest a lot in my self-care, from my hair to my nails to my face to how I look, everything. But getting enough adequate rest. Here's another one, staying nourished. I told you the other day, yesterday I was not feeling well, and I was just like, you know what? I don't even have the strength or the time right now to go make another meal. I said, but I'm gonna go ahead and make this protein shake real quick. Let me add some ice. Like, on my protein shakes, listen, if you haven't tried our shaken greens with just water, you're missing out. I don't add nothing else but just some water, some ice is a bomb. Bomb. Absolutely. Staying nourished. Practicing self-care is essential to maintain our well-being as we navigate through challenges. The reality is that when you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you will do good. And I don't know what it is that is important to you right now as you wrap up this month. And I don't know what it is that you're challenging yourself with. But I will tell you that it is worth it. I will tell you that you have everything equipped. You have been given everything for such a time like this. And your next month is only going to start how you finish off this month. So finish it off with a bang, finish it off with a boom, do the follow-ups, do the calls, take care of yourself. No matter what the adversity is that we are facing on the other side, trust and believe God will never let hard work go unnoticed. And your dreams, you're deserving of them. That life that you want, you're deserving of them. The trips that you want to experience around the world, you're deserving of them. So hope you guys got some value from this call today. I know it was very short. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Blessings on blessings. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Love you guys too. Thank you so much. Breakfast has been served. Great day and God bless. Happy Thriving Thursday. Let's get it.